Ambient bass effects warnings. If you haven't already, hit that like button wherever you at. I definitely appreciate it. Hit the hype button. Cash App, Super Chat, all that good stuff is amazing. Appreciate that. So, let's get into it. So, what we got going on today? Let's see, we got a few. Appreciate all y'all chiming in. Feel free to chime in with questions that are related to bass, ambient effects, and all that good stuff, or chime in, say hi, say where you're from, all that good stuff. If you have any questions about sounds, how I'm getting different sounds, different things like that, feel free, you know what I'm saying, to ask a question. So that's actually a loop I created yesterday morning. You know, I like to have something just kind of get me warmed up, and it was something that was kind of, you know, groovy and just easy to warm up on, you know. So the sounds I was using there, one of them was from the Enzo X. That was the track itself. The original chords were from the C4 synth. Amazingly, were from the C4 synth. And then the pad on top of that was from the Enzo X. And then the bass line was done with the Future Impact V4 VIP. And the rest was done with just my bass, playing the drum parts and things like that, and the looper tambourine. So for the solo sounds, I used, first one I used the mono dime lead on the Enzo X. And then I switched to the Hog 2 for the guitar type sound. I went from the Hog 2 to the MS-50G over to a tone model of a JHS Colorbox V2 and into the MS-70 CDR Plus and the HX1, and then finished it all up with the Source Audio Atlas compressor. So yeah, those some little tricks, you know, for creating different things if that's what you're into, you know what I'm saying? I always like to give you guys a little background, not just play and give you, you know, have you guys listening, but if you ever want to get to those sounds, you know, that's the combination of effects that I use to do that. But, you know, with the individual pedals, you can always go to the Patreon, grab the presets. All those sounds you were hearing are in the preset packs that are on Patreon for those individual pedals. So feel free to check those out. Let's see, this bass is made by Artisan Bass Works, which was a company. They don't exist anymore. And, you know, this is actually the only bass like this at this point. But it's a custom, one-of-a-kind bass from them. They have a unique angle to that allow them to just sit like this. I don't have to hold my bass. It just stays balanced like that. Even when it's on the strap, it just sits like that. So, which is really convenient. I don't have any neck dive. I literally don't have to worry about holding the neck up at all. I can just play. So that's very convenient. Appreciate the comparison. Stanley Clark is definitely an amazing player. Is it difficult to go back to a normal 4-string after playing a 6-string? I wouldn't know because I only play 6. I don't even bother with a 4-string anymore, to be honest with you. There's nothing I can do with a 4-string that I can't do with a 6, but there's things I can do with a 6 I can't do with a 4. So, you know, I'm not into that myth of, oh, they sound fatter. No, not really. This bass sounds really, gets to be a really bigger sound. This bass pretty much can get you any sound I would need. You know, if I need to slap. And this is with some dead strings, like super dead. I can crank up them. So, you know, I don't even play more than one bass. I only play one bass at a time because I like to have a relationship with the instrument, you know. But that's just me personally. I think it's very beneficial in the way of things don't keep changing. A lot of basses have different string spacings and everything else, different string heights that are optimal. While I don't really want all that. I like simplicity when it comes to playing the actual instrument itself. I'm getting this mic straight here for y'all. So I pretty much just like to play this bass. I'm not even concerned about other basses, to be honest. So, the envelope pedal. Well, I don't always use a dedicated envelope filter pedal. What I actually do is I use these different multi-effects units to do that. I'll switch over to the pedal board view here. I actually have analog filters. I just don't keep them on my board. So I got, for one, I don't have to keep one filter because I got a ton of them. I got the filters that are in the Future Impact. I got filters, all 20-something filters in the Source Audio C4 synth. I've got three filters, I believe, in the Enzo X. I got about 6 or 7, or I think about 10 actually, filters in the MS-70 CDR Plus. You know, so I don't really need to have a dedicated filter pedal because all these, this is my main gigging board, you know, before I get back to playing. Now, I try to do less talking during this time, so, you know, it will be quite some time in there where I just play like I did. But, you know, this is my main gigging board, so everything needs to be super modular, if that makes sense. Like, I need to be able to move things around fast and just, if I want to use this filter, use that, I need to have a ton of them, not one. But I don't want it to take up a lot of space. So all my pedals do pretty much more than one thing, with the exception of like the Deep Freeze, the OC5, and the Empress compressor. Like, all the other pedals are essentially multi-effects. Even the Source Audio Atlas compressor does EQ and stuff too. So, you know. All right, let's get back to playing. Let's find some sounds here. That's that C4 synth, man. People be sleeping on that joint. Do not sleep on the C4 synth. First off, this joint's fire. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, you got to work around some of the quirks, but I think that's the case for just about any pedal. You know what I'm saying? You got to just work around some of them quirks. But is it still an amazing pedal? Absolutely, is an amazing pedal. I mean, look. You don't like that sound? Come on. I mean, yes, you got the HX9. Let me just, let me see sound. Let me take off all the enhancements. And that's just me, you don't, it's a chordal, you know what I'm saying, type thing there going on. So it's just like, you can easily just play the chords. It's definitely going to track that. That joint, I love the texture of it for some reason. Like I don't know why I really like the texture of that, but for me it just really sounds amazing. But what's going on, folks? Appreciate you chiming in. Everybody that said hi, all the compliments. Appreciate you, folks. Feel free to comment, ask questions about what we'll be doing with the bass effects, and definitely feel free to hit that like button. I need y'all on that. All right, so let's see what we got on this future impact real quick. Okay, that could do something. Let me see. Just searching for a bit of inspiration right now. That's all. Sometimes, sometimes it's all is immediate. Sometimes it takes a sound to. sometimes I like to mix the filters and different stuff. What's going on, folks? Appreciate you chiming in. Sometimes inspiration takes a while. Every time I play through these sounds, I'll be forgetting, even though I made them, I'm like, sheesh, the Future Impact just sounds good every time. You know, sometimes, you know, with the C4 synth, I create patches and then come back later, and it just don't, you know, it took me a while to really nail down the C4 synth pack, like to exactly where I wanted it to be. But with the Future Impact, the sounds, you know, once I had my formula together for it, it just you know, consistently. That's all the Future Impact, the octave up and everything. So this thing gives a ton of sounds, and it's definitely. I'm gonna come back to the Future Impact. I'm gonna start somewhere else because it's not hitting me from there. So sometimes that happens, you know. And if you happen to like any of those sounds, you can just go to the Patreon and download the pack. Now let's work with this one. And just so you guys know, that whole sound, including the reverb, everything you're hearing is from the Enzo X. That entire sound is the Enzo X. Yeah, I love my Hog too, for sure. Congratulations. I guess that's what you're into. And I appreciate you, all you folks, chiming in from the different platforms as well. Yeah, pedals are amazing on bass. You can just take you to a whole nother territory. Reverb is fire. That's the large prism. Enzo just constantly gives you. It's just a constant source of just makes you want to play. I love the Enzo. It just nothing else really sounds like that. But let's go to something else. Um, add a little key nine. We'll use the dynamo. Male nine. So a sound like this is just, the hog two running in the mel nine, and pretty much MS-70 CDR plus to Plethora X1, HX1, and it's just a combination of things. The toughest part about sometimes just doing music live like this, where you're curating, is you also can run into where you're like, most times you'll find plenty. Sometimes you're like, you know. That's also why I like to have some sounds already ready. Let's build something around that, I guess. So, sometimes you're just kind of hanging out on a groove for a little bit. But, what you got, sometimes you just go with a simpler idea. Sometimes it's not always trying to come up with the most complicated stuff. I always try to give people that advice, new, especially newer people. You don't, just because the idea is simple, just because it's a pentatonic line, doesn't mean it can't turn into a really good idea, really cool idea. You just gotta develop it. It's really ultimately whatever ideas and sounds come to your head or through your fingers on accident or on purpose is really up to you to make the best of it. So you definitely you want to get up to that point where you're not super worried about stuff like that. You more concerned with actually playing. And that becomes difficult sometimes. Got a lot going on these days, but yeah, you just jump in there with some different ideas. So, I think that's all I'm about to do for now, but I will be back later. And later on, I'll be going through how to make some um, different synth-based sounds with the good old Future Impact, and I'll be doing a few different types, going over just some basic like oscillator type things and how to get to some nice sounds. And don't forget that you can grab all my preset packs for any of these pedals that you see on the Patreon. If you want to support the channel, you can do that on the Patreon. Thank you. I appreciate you over on Twitch, hanging in there. Everybody on all the different platforms, Facebook, Twitch, Instagram, Kick, and, especially a special thanks to the Patreon members. What's going on, folks? Um, and again, I think somebody asked me that like 5 times a stream, boy. Yeah, I answered that. You asked me that earlier, Apex. I literally went on a whole explanation of that earlier. You can rewind the video to when you commented that, like not too long after. I did a whole spiel on it. But I'm glad. Thank you. Appreciate you, Jeremiah, supporting the Patreon preset packs. They will definitely get you through. You know what I'm saying? So definitely appreciate you. Okay. Hopefully, I hope the quality. I'm not sure. About the YouTube versus Twitch audio quality because most of the time I'm on. I can't. It's hard to like distinguish between the two when you go back and play back and stuff. But whichever makes you comfortable, wherever platform you're more comfortable following me on, feel free, whether it be Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, Kick, all that stuff. Wherever you're comfortable, that's where I want to see you. So thank you. Thank you for chiming in on the different platforms. But all right, folks. Appreciate y'all hanging out with me today. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe wherever you are. If you want to hit that Cash App, Super Chat, all that good stuff would be amazing on the different platforms. And if you want, like I said, my preset packs, all that's on Patreon. If you want to support the channel, you can do that over on the Patreon, or you can join the membership on YouTube. But you don't have to sign up for both to get the members only like live streams, videos, stuff like that. But all right, y'all, hope y'all have a great day. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Definitely means the world. Definitely means the world to me that you ever spend time just kicking it with me, listening, hanging out. So thank you. All right. Catch me on everything at the Bass Negus, Negus, and I will holler at you guys later. Thank you. Peace.